on the motor. We won't get... It's interesting how the motor labors with the waves.
I think it's because it's a constant torque. So what happens with the waves is it goes fast and slow and it changes the RPM. So if it was a constant RPM motor, you wouldn't hear that, but a constant torque, the RPM would hear it. That is my suspicion. So first mishap of the trip, these press fit things I thought were in there so snug, but with this mechanism that I've got for pulling the panel up, there's a huge leveraging force pulling that tubing out when the weight of the panel is bearing down, and I was sort of counting on the solar panel itself to hold everything contained, but this one actually tore the grommet right out of the corner, and the panel came crashing down just like that. Holy fuck. So here we are out in full sunshine for the first time with the full panel deployed. A lot of big kind of unknowns going into this. One was just how much were the panels going to obstruct our visibility while we're in the boat, and I was pretty worried at the marina when they were laying down. But having them out with their wings like this, it's almost no effect on your line of sight. And this is like precisely the conditions that this is going to shine. We're out here and the wind totally died down on us. For a while we had the sails up, now we're just had to reel them down. And we're getting a steady 900 watts out of the panel array in probably the best kind of scenario you can get. There's a little bit of a shadow on the rear panel from the mast. Without that shadow, we might be closer to like 1050 or 1100. But that's going to make a huge difference. That's going to add, 7 to 8 kilowatt hours over the entire day. So we're on a tight deadline to get to a crossing before a tide changes, active pass. And this is letting us run the motor at 3,000 watts, so we make it there just in time, while we're only consuming 2,000 watts from the battery, which will give us just enough range to get to the next marina where we're going to be tying up tonight. So the raising and lowering of the solar panels was, to me, a really important consideration in the design of this. You saw earlier we were doing a lot of 3D printed parts. That worked super well for some stuff, but some of the things where the structural forces were a lot higher, the 3D printed items started to show their failings, and we had a few items crack when people were leaning or reefing on the lifeline supports and putting undue stresses on that. So kind of at the very last minute, we redesigned a bunch of that to use laser cut aluminum plate metal. So we have an all metal to metal connection from the stanchion on the boat to the tube holding the solar panels. And then one of the things I was putting off to the very end was figuring out just what is the mechanism that we use once we rotate the panels up to hold them there. And my preferred option would be if we just had something that would pinch the tube. So just kind of like a quick release on the seat of a bicycle. You could just rotate the seat, lock it shut. But that requires quite an immense clamping force. And there's always sort of a risk of slippage. So in the end, we figured out we could do a pretty effective job just with a linkage system where you have a piece that slides up and down the smooth stanchion, and then that links to the panel just a quarter of the way out, so you don't get this big huge triangulation, just a much smaller one. And that gives us full adjustability to point all the way down and about 45 degrees north of horizontal. And then in principle, that can be just a single fastener to tighten and loosen to slide it up and down. And it's coupled so that it lifts the entire side of the panels in one mechanism. I don't have to go separately to each set. They go up together as a pair, which is pretty sweet. Okay.
We're down 450 right now.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, do it. 460.
All right.
480. 500. 520. 530.
I passed my maximum.
Yeah.
All right.
There. That's 510.
So I'm super happy with how the rear panel turned out, though. This one on its first go fit together like clockwork. The stainless steel tubing was just left over from one of my neighbor's boats who took down his bimini system and just had a bunch of bent pieces. So I just scavenged a few that seemed to have about the right curvature, but I didn't have the ability to do any welding on the water. And here I'm dealing with interfacing tubes of different diameter, that's 7/8 and 1 inch, mating at all kinds of different angles. And in this case, the 3D printed parts served so perfectly to let us accommodate those junctions. And I printed them, I hope, thick enough to be quite strong structurally. And then the panel itself is supported right more or less in the middle, and that means that without any clamping structure, just the friction around this 1-inch tube totally holds it into place. So all I need to do to change that to the angle I want is touch it, let go, and it stays right there. We've hit some big swells and it didn't budge at all. And this also just like, it's just the perfect location. Just stays, except for when the sun's straight ahead, but it doesn't interfere at all with the sailing. It gives us potentially a little bit of shade sometimes. And it also doesn't obstruct our line of sight one bit. So yeah, ultimately really happy with how that turned out. Kind of wish I made it even a little bit bigger. Oh, what's this coming on? Is that a
car ferry of some sort? Not a beach
interesting
ferry, but we're safe.
Yeah, but I've never seen.
Is that one of the C-span ones?
It look. Maybe that is.
It's got a bunch of like.
Woo!
Whoa.
This is just wild. Oh man, I hope my brother-in-law has his
Oh,
boat.
another one.
Whoa!
Well, we just gotta wait for one to jump right in the boat. We'll smack it with the oar.
Yeah, I forgot to check if we actually have a paper chart in case our GPS goes down.
Oh, so far so good. The GPS only went down intermittently.
Huh? 720. Yeah. Yeah, no, like that's the thing, is that you get, as long as you can tilt to the sun coming down, you get good harvest right up until sunset.
Up. There we go. You gotta go through that little tiny.
It looks tiny on the map anyway. Look how big it is.
That looks 69 volts.
Oh, yes.
All right.
420 kilometers.
I'd say that was pretty well executed. And yeah, we're aiming to get here at 7 o'clock. We got here at 5 after 7. And what are these stats? I'm so curious. So, 5.3 kilowatt hours.
Pretty good, pretty good.
I thought we were gonna hit 6.
Below projections.
Thought we were gonna hit 6 kilowatt hours, so it's not super duper crazy, but it's pretty good. So 5 kilowatt hours. So if we're doing like the 1,000 watt cruising, where we're 100.
Well, that's a fifth of the battery you charged
Yeah.
on the way over here. And
Yeah.
That's not trivial considering that battery got us all
Yeah.
the way from Vancouver.
Yeah. And it did make the difference because I don't think that we would have.
We got a little more than a fifth of a battery left, I
Yeah.
think. It's 69 volts. We
Yeah.
got like less than a third, but more than a fifth. Quarters. It would have been pretty near run without the panels, that's for sure.
I don't think we could pull 5 kilowatt hours out of what's left of a 68 volt bank.
Maybe not. Certainly not
Yeah.
at high speed.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the solar saved this.
Solar made the day. And like this is like the perfect day for having solar panels. If you look at this poor sailboat out there, sails up, not even budging. Yeah, let's go pull up the
Okay,
shore.
we're going in.
Hey guys, congratulations.
Yeah, nicely done.
Hey, we're here. Sorry, we were just filming the wrap up. We made it. Like we're right on time. Oh, crazy. Oh, good. Yeah. Gas? Why would you get gas for an electric boat? You're close by. Okay, you'll see us tying up. We're kind of unmistakable.